Welcome to Not Strong.
This is a podcast for men about real challenges and real growth.
Life can hit hard. What do you do when the things you've always relied upon quit working?
When the way you've always handled things just isn't enough.
When your physical, mental, and spiritual strength are put to the test?
Do you push through, hold on even tighter?
Or have you learned how to surrender? And what does that look like?
We're here to explore the human spirit with you and share what it takes to press forward through life's greatest challenges.
To tap into something bigger than ourselves and live a healthier, happier, more fulfilling life.
Join us on the Not Strong journey.
Welcome to Not Strong. My name is Kurtis Loftus.
And I'm Tim Hamby.
Not Strong, empowering the human spirit. And we are on episode 14.
14, yeah. Stacking them.
Is that the term, stacking?
Yeah.
I like it. So yeah, this one is on acceptance. And Tim, I'm telling you, every time I do some research for a show, I feel like this is going to be the best one yet. And then we get together and start rustling through notes and realizing, oh gosh, this is how do we talk about it? But acceptance is, it's a lot. And somehow we'll try to condense it into a reasonable 45 minutes discussion.
Let's do it.
That so that's our goal. Yeah. And we appreciate everyone here with us again. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what the audience is looking like. Have you checked it?
I haven't checked it lately,
maybe one or
but
two.
It was good a couple of weeks ago.
Well, Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Why don't we tell people, could you share our podcast, right? Share with
please do.
Yeah, share with a friend. I mean, this stuff is pretty focused on the human spirit, and we're kind of learning as we go. We're not super experts on human spirit, although we're both in our 60s and lived a long life, and we have some stories that I think are meaningful. There's some, what I like to say, experience, strength, hope.
Yeah,
right.
No, I agree with you.
And so on the human spirit side of it, we love to give men encouragement. We love to find some wisdom for folks. And, it's just we underestimate the spirit.
Yeah,
that's plain and simple. We underestimate the spirit, and I think there's plenty of conversation to be had, and we're going to have some guests as well. We keep saying that.
We got a couple lined up, good ones. So
usually we save that for the end, but this time I want to get it out of the way.
And we should explain our Jaguars outfits here. This was complete accident.
Once again, brother, we
think too much alike.
Yeah, and that's really interesting because I know we've both decided we have some pretty unique characteristics that are vastly different. I mean, how I behave and think and address stuff, and you and I are unique individuals, but there are some things when we do it, like I showed up today in this and you're in that, and I'm just like laughing. It's like, once again, we're somehow thinking.
Game day. Happy beginning of the season.
Yeah. Go Jags. And
got a scrimmage tonight.
Yeah. I was gonna do Duval.
What's that?
I was gonna do Duval.
Okay, go for it.
Can we do it together?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. We'll do a 1, 2, 3. Yeah. We'll do a 1, 2, 3 so we have some gusto to it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Duval!
We should have saved that for George Lincoln.
We'll get him to do it.
All right.
And we're also going to.
He'll be better than both of us.
We're going to try to talk into the mic deliberately because we're realizing when we back away, like I just did, when I move away from the mic, I disappear. The voice goes down and you can't hear what I'm saying. So we're going to be deliberate with the microphone all through the podcast. Okay.
I'm going to tape my hands to
Tim,
to the desk.
Right there. Good. Let's try it. Awareness. This thing came to me, I think, mostly because in the last, and I'll just be honest with the audience, my mom, who I've mentioned already, is in dementia. And the time that I've spent down there, pretty heavy. Well, she was in a house in St. Augustine, out of the house like 6 years ago, into independent living. I mean, this is going pretty quick now, from independent living into memory care, all very quick. Yeah. And the last 3 to 6, I'll say this last 3 to 6 months has been devastating, just in her cognitive ability. Mm-hmm. So when I'm with her, I'm hearing what a lot of times, and I'm not a psychologist, I don't know how the mind works, so no one has to take this for any more than my observations. But when I'm with her and what I'm hearing and understanding in her, it's not always lucid. It's just her trying to communicate. And where it's coming from, most of it seems to me fear, a lot of fear, some frustration, some anger. And that's not the dominant, but it's kind of a big part of what she's going through. And I hear a lot of that. That's kind of typical with dementia patients and Alzheimer's and the disease in general. So anyways, as I'm moving through this with her and thinking about us and what we're doing with this podcast, spiritually, are there things I can do? One, so that I can be a son that is trying to give her the appropriate care, the appropriate sort of love, and just do what I can, because some of this is that's beyond my control. It's doctors, it's medications, it's just, it's a tough place.
Yeah.
So acceptance has kind of come to me as a topic because, one, I'm doing my best to accept the situation with my mother. Simultaneously, I'm wondering about her life a little bit and what in her life potentially might be part of her current state of kind of struggle and subconscious challenge. Like, is any of this in her deep subconscious that's coming into the forefront because she pushed it back? When I was a child and watched growing up, her relationship with her husband, tough, difficult. And I think she also, when the divorce happened and she had to move on with 4 kids for, raising children, and it was 70s. And I mean, I can only imagine how challenging that was in her psyche. She's a church-going lady, but she's also a very controlling. I mean, she wants to control her emotions. She wants to put on a strong face, a good forward front. She is highly intelligent. So everything seemed to me controlled and managed through all of that. And I just wonder, was there burden? Was there things that impacted her on this from the subconscious level that she never really addressed and got to, from a standpoint of acceptance?
You accept the reality of it.
So there is that. But we get to address it today in ways that are probably the things you couldn't do back then. This is a different time, a different kind of opportunity that we have, that current society has. There's a lot more willingness to be vulnerable, to share stories, to be open, talk through, difficult things that in the past might have taken us to a place where we just said, I am not going to talk about it. I'm not going to share it. I'm just going to absorb it. And I'm going to live my life this way. Yeah. So all of that is
true for men and women.
Men and women. That's a long-winded way of saying that's kind of, and then our own stories in terms of what we're challenged by. Just health and well-being. There are things we can do to find that, I'm going to just say peace, sort of that place of contentment. And if you can get there through even the most difficult challenges, then you're probably at least putting yourself in a better place. I started with a couple of things that, if you don't mind jumping in on scripturally, maybe, or do
I mean, so again, to frame the whole subject, acceptance in the face of challenges, it's got a good definition of here. What is acceptance? It's a courageous act of acknowledging reality without denial, resisting the urge to control what cannot be changed, and choosing to entrust oneself of God's presence, provision, and purpose, despite pain, uncertainty, or loss. And so this kind of acceptance is not passivity or giving up. Right? It's not that.
Right.
It's not pretending that everything's fine.
Right.
So what is it? It's clarity. Naming what's true, knowing what's true, understanding and accepting it.
Yeah.
Even if it's painful. It's humility, resisting the need to fix it or figure everything out, because obviously there's so many problems that we can't fix and can't figure out, and I'm definitely guilty of that. I'm a problem solver,
Oh gosh.
and I think that's probably pretty typical of a lot of guys.
Hmm.
And I always want to. I'm always thinking in my brain.
Oh yeah.
There's a way to solve it.
Yeah. We went into careers where it was solving problems all the time.
Yeah.
In fact,
Yeah. No.
I
Absolutely.
relish
Yeah.
it. Throw something at me and we can figure it out.
Yeah.
And in fact, I can do it in a really creative, unique way.
Marketing, creative,
Yeah,
design.
yep.
It is problem solving.
Yeah. Think your way through.
Exactly
Yeah.
what
You're thinking your way through things. And it's a beautiful part of what jobs we had.
Yeah.
But then you get kind of cocky about it, or you feel like, oh, I can do this with just about anything.
Yeah.
Until you can't.
Yeah, no.
But it's tricky.
Funny. In the research that you pulled up, one of the terms that they used was toxic optimism. I'd never heard that, and it's funny because I always consider myself. I am. I'm a diehard optimist.
Yeah.
It's just built into me.
Yeah.
And that works a little bit into the problem solving. Yeah, there's an answer for everything. But yet, in a lot of real life situations, they're just there isn't, and that brings us to the next definition of kind of what it is. It's surrender, and it's trusting, that even in the midst of challenges or pain, that God's still working.
Oh gosh.
And if you're not solving the problem, maybe you're still at least learning and growing, and that there's a plan, and you're going to get there, and
Well, and we say that a lot. I think that's probably the fourth time I've heard there's a plan.
Yeah.
And so there's probably some folks going, "What? Here we go. What does that mean?" Because my plan again is these things will go this way, and if they don't, I am going to push and force and press. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'll work even harder. I'll do even more. There are stories about just putting aside what would be the things that you never want to put aside: relationships, children, putting aside contentment. We were going into this meeting about all of these things that are goal oriented from Western society. We're kind of taught from the time we're born to achieve, and that is like, it's unacceptable in a lot of these situations to fail. Like if you're off to school, you get your grades and you get your degree and you get into XYZ career. If you're off to play professional sports, or if you're whatever you're going to pursue, it's always at a level. If you're hearing from all the experts, you pursue it at a level that has almost like no holds bar, 100%. Do not quit, and it can be a trap.
It can be, yeah. And I love the list. You pulled up here in terms of those kind of goals. The big goals that Western society pursues. Financial wealth and stability.
Yeah, these are top 10, by the way. So again, I'm just kind of
10.
trying to understand what
You hear them every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this is life. Career achievement, educational attainment, home ownership, physical appearance and health.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Romantic and family success.
Yeah.
Social
If
status.
you're not married by 35, you're a failure. If you don't have children by X, you're frowned upon. If you don't have this in your bank account, you're a failure. If you whatever. I'm not talking that this is wrong. I'm just talking it can set you up for a super challenging kind of moment in time where, we're going to put the brakes on that and you're going to have this now to face.
Yeah.
And by gosh, What does that mean when things go crashing down around you, or where you're asked to put on the brakes or think differently or whatever it looks like? Can you even pull that off?
Yeah, and it happens all the time. It can happen,
but no
anytime.
one wants to talk about it.
Yeah,
no one is going to sit down and say, "Hey, get ready. This is a good story." And you're like, "Dude, I don't want to hear that story." Mm-hmm. No, we like to hear success. We like to hear things that fit into the culture.
Yeah.
And
so what else is on here? Social status and popularity.
Oh, that's nothing. No one cares about their popularity, Tim.
Personal freedom and autonomy, having the freedom to choose how to spend time, work, and travel.
I didn't mind that showing up, but it took 7. Isn't that like number 7 or something?
Yeah, that's actually number 8.
8. Yeah. It took a while.
Possessions and lifestyle, owning luxury items, cars, fashion, tech. Influence or legacy, leaving a mark in the world through creativity, leadership, philanthropy, gaining a platform. Those are big goals.
So what didn't show up in the goals list?
Understand how to accept things that are out of your control.
You're getting close. Mm-hmm. How about contentment?
Contentment.
Like if someone said, we're gonna flip this on how we educate our children. Mm-hmm. Let's just throw into this goal-oriented thing for our next generation that, by the way, if you strive for peace, personal inner peace, contentment, like I'm okay with, hey, I'm not making that much money right now, but this job I have, really love it. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's cool I get to be an artist and I don't feel like I'm getting judged by someone saying, that art thing, you're going to never make enough money. You're never going to, this or that. It's okay that you decided to forego college and you wanted a trade school. Mm-hmm. Pursuits and personal desires that, are framed around what actually makes you have some peace. Yeah. Like your authentic self, and you're at peace with that because you get to pursue something that fits you. Mm-hmm. We're not giving enough energy to that. I don't believe. No, it would show up. It would show up on the list, I believe, as something worthy of pursuit, a goal. Mm-hmm.
So that's why that personal freedom and autonomy, it's getting closer, but yeah, it's still not quite there.
No.
To be content and to accept where you are and embrace it. And, it doesn't mean that you can't have aspirations and aspire for some of these things, but to accept.
Can I say in my recovery, and this does always sort of get to share a little bit of it, more often than not, a lot of what gets talked about is from folks that are in struggles with addiction or, having challenges with alcohol. When they are off that train, let's say, and they're trying to put a program together where it's going from one day at a time to now maybe they're actually 90 days in and maybe they're even a year in, like they've actually started to take on the program and they're gaining some confidence and they're actually gaining some peace. This is what I watch. Yeah. These folks are starting to see themselves as okay. They start to value their themselves, right? Mm-hmm. Like not the possessions, not the job, not the, they're maybe trying to fix some of that stuff, right? Because the marriage may be falling apart or the job they could lose it. So they're trying to fix that. And a lot of times that's also why they come in. They're like, I need to keep my job. Or I'd love to keep my marriage. Mm-hmm. But what turns out happening is they start understanding, there's some people in here that don't have big jobs or they're not even married. They're just people that seem darn happy. Mm-hmm. They seem darn okay with life and what their place in life is. Mm-hmm. They're just like, let's take away all the worldly stuff. Mm-hmm. Someone that is desiring contentment will find that in other people because, that is something you cannot, it's priceless. You cannot earn that or get it through, like, the world will not give you that inner peace, right?
No,
If really true inner peace, no.
The question is how do you get it?
How do you get it? Well, usually I think it's through struggle. I think you have to get beat up a little bit. I think you have to kind of once in a while go, oh my gosh, I'm getting my butt kicked.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
and my normal practice is these things over here. Maybe I have to accept what's going on right now and try to learn.
Humility.
Yeah. Try to learn a little bit more about myself. I'm going to have to be patient. And I want to get it fixed now, or I want it to be improved, or I want to feel better. Or, it's always like, gosh, darn it, here we go. I have to settle myself for a bit.
Yeah.
Because it may not resolve in the way I have this thing in my head.
I'm very patient with some things and very impatient with others.
Thank you. Me too.
So it's a little bit of both.
Just admit to driving first, and then you and I can be in agreement again. No? Are you good at driving?
Am I good at driving?
Yeah, I'm impatient as I'll get out and driving.
Yeah, I think so.
Even in the worst of the traffic where people don't know what they're doing because it's raining, because it's raining.
Yeah,
sometimes I get a little worked up, brother.
Yeah, I can't say I'm always good in traffic.
Right.
I avoid it. I work remotely.
That's good.
And do my best.
Smart man. Yep. See, that's why you get the big bucks.
But yeah. So with goals, a good question to ask to achieve contentment. What should our goals be? What should those be oriented by or measured by? I like this answer: alignment with core values.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Now
we get to talk core values, huh?
To orient goals towards honesty, kindness, faith, service.
Yep. Core principles, core values. Honesty is a huge one.
Yeah, and versus trying to impress other people.
Yes.
Or things that impress other people.
Yeah.
Those are the things that will help you.
So read them again.
Honesty, kindness, creativity, faith, service, whatever values resonate at your core.
Yeah,
your core.
Right. No, you're right. Yeah, I agree. I'm a very, but there are things from each of those that we all should pay attention to, I think. At different amounts, let's just say. Not everyone's going to care about service, but the way they see service, because that's what I'm learning about what that means. Serving another human being, service work, service to community. Serving is a interesting term because we're serving right now. This work is servant work. We stop what we're doing. We're going, all right, let's communicate these concepts or have a discussion, and that's a servant heart. What does your time look like? Maybe that's the best way to say this. Does your time center on I'm serving myself, right? Which I get it. You've got a paycheck, you've got a house, you've got the car, you've got the surfboard, you've got the trips, blah, blah, blah. So those are all the beautiful things that you're rewarded with by work. First and foremost, I'm serving God. I'm granted grace. There's this grace, and I get to do these things. So I want that work to reflect this. Not, again, I'm saying selfish or unselfish. I'm just saying it should be a reflection of His glory, His goodness. It's like I get to do this work. I get to do this thing in life that is service. Almost everything.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense that way.
It does, yeah, and it definitely drives, a stronger sense of contentment. But if
you're selfish in it, I think it can be a little misguided. Like if you're just going, I'm all about serving, myself, these actions, this work, this kind of time I spend, I'm going to judge it and measure it, and what I get out of it is all I care about. And if that's the service work, then you're probably flawed. So I was trying to say, even in that core value thing that, we're trying to address, it's like, how does that look as a core value to you, right? Because if it's a selfish servant heart, then you're probably in trouble with it, I think.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. We should, seek goals that contribute to a sense of meaning.
Yes, there it is.
Not just, productivity or, self-focused, try and hit the status check marks that we talked about earlier. Deep relationships, having meaningful, deeper relationships, and not just the superficial ones, or trophy wife, or like you said, getting married because you're supposed to.
Yeah, right.
Another good one is setting goals around cultivating mindfulness, gratitude, and the ability to be present in the now. I think that all of those things are very important. I think both of us live with a strong sense of gratitude for everything, all the time.
Yeah.
And that was a big driver for me last year. Being able to accept my situation with the cancer, and dealing with this thing that came out of the blue, and threatened my life, is this sense of gratitude for so many other things about my life, and not focusing on this one thing, and focusing on all the other people who started serving me in my time of need, and so that helped to keep me content and in the right mindset last year, instead of falling into fear or anger or self-pity and those kinds of things, right, and still being content.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat in that I felt, gosh, can I continue to learn? Is there still kind of opportunity? Because stuff like that, when you get diagnoses and things come on you, we've talked about it. There are men that get diagnosed and they run from it. They forget it. I don't want to address this. And it's interesting because that inability to accept doesn't. I mean, it's not like all this goes away because you've shut a door and hidden it. It's not like it's all it is temporarily
suppressing it.
Yeah. And this isn't the best way to frame it, but I'm going to call it like a sin of omission. In my estimation, when we deny it, when we deny stuff like that, when we say, "Oh, I will not address it," it's not a reality. We are truly hurting ourselves.
Yeah.
We are stopping. We are preventing the sunlight of the Spirit, is what we like to say in our program of recovery.
I like it.
Yeah, the sunlight of the Spirit is now dampened. It's darkened. It's not available to us because we've decided selfishly to say, "No, I'm just not going to have that here. I don't accept it." And you're looking at like this decision, and smart people make decisions like this. Like you go, "Dude, you're a brilliant man." I'm just framing this up. I see it sometimes even in the program, because there's stuff that goes on. Just like life is lifey, things go on in the program besides the challenges in recovery with addiction. Life is still for everyone in that program, just like everyone outside of the program. We just happen to have a way to navigate it that I think is really special, with the steps and all this work. It actually intentionally unburdens you as you move through the program. You are unburdening yourself from all of this, these many, all these many things, so that eventually with your friends, your family, with your life, you just become free of it. And it's that acceptance piece that is huge.
Yeah.
And when you learn, you can navigate and run through the problems and be open and vulnerable and kind of, I just see it as growth. Even if I feel like I'm moving backwards, even if I feel like I'm taking a couple steps backwards. Richard Rohr, he's one of my favorite authors.
Yeah.
And if anyone ever wants to study, and learn a little bit more about this human spirit, especially men, he writes and has written so many books. He's a Franciscan monk. He's been doing books and tours since the 70s. I mean, cassette stuff. He's got books like Breathing Underwater, Falling Upwards, The Divine Dance. He's just written a ton of beautiful books. Often this thing that looks like backwards movement, like you're falling, into a trap, or you're falling into some kind of space that is scary and uncertain, and you have no confidence, and it's just unnerving. He almost says, welcome it. It's like your growth is coming out of those places.
Yeah.
It's just a beautiful thing in our life that we can find.
And it's one of the goals here: growth and integrity, not perfection. To focus on becoming rather than achieving, and set goals that stretch yourself in character. in character, and not just status. And so I love that. Pursuing simplicity and sufficiency, pursuing what's enough, and not, continually striving for excess.
Do you think it's hard for us to do these things, Tim? Do you think generally, unless you're faced with something that can be a dramatic change in life, where you're just kind of like we're talking here, we're going, hey, we're willing to do this conversation because there's things that have confronted us and it's worthy of conversation. Do you think it's easier for a man to just say, forget it, that's too much time, I don't have the patience, I'm moving, like, why would I listen to this podcast and make this thing important?
Yeah.
Is this important stuff, do you think?
I think that there's definitely times, when I've fallen into the trap of trying to pursue perfection. I like to think of myself as someone that that doesn't do that. I understand growth and learning and focusing on becoming rather than achieving. But it's just easy. You've always got the world pulling you back, to that pursuit of trying to do things the best you can.
Well,
but yeah, through different experiences, you and I've had a ton of them. I've had a lot of ups and downs.
Oh, yeah.
I've reached real high highs and and experienced low lows. So I've had my moments of humility, and over the years, I think I've gotten better.
And I'm trying to let's make sure that my point on this is not don't strive. This is not at all what I'm saying. No. Strive because as you strive, you will get hit. It's almost like be wide open, know that the pursuits are going to come with potential pitfalls, and that if you are oriented around a single kind of source of power or energy, and it is that success and that ultimate goal, and it is void of any other kind of like bigger, greater understanding, like where it comes from, like that pursuit. Where does that pursuit come from? Why are we allowed to pursue this way? Well, I am granted this life, and I'm, granted this, this capacity to run or to surf or to, and it's granted through my relationship with God is such where I give him the glory. And if something happens, hey, I get it. Power comes from another source.
That's right. Yeah. And that's a good way to sum it up. Spiritual orientation. Your contentment can grow through trusting God and surrendering those outcomes, and resting in that, and accepting these things, and that life can turn on a dime in any one of those areas, any one of those areas that we talked about before. Career, education, health, relationships.
You know how many stories you end up watching on nightly news or maybe your cable feed, and there's a tragedy somewhere, right? And how many people in the midst of that tragedy, and let's say something happened to a community, and all the comments are always like this: had no idea it was ever going to happen here. I had no idea. It's always what you hear, and they don't know what to do with it. And you understand that. I understand. It's like traumatic. But that's where what you do is you rally and you move into it with, all the same energy, all the same love, all the same kind of, whatever that capacity is to overcome, to move forward, you do it.
Yeah.
You don't stop.
Yeah.
And that's that. Okay, I accept this. Now I got to move on. Now I got to go forward.
Yeah, because that's another thing. People get stuck in the past.
Stuck right there in the middle of the thing. They stay in the past. They actually get to a spot, and then they realize, here it is. I hate this job. How many people do that? I hate this job. But I don't have any other place to go. I don't have any other thing I can do. This is all and they'll come up with a list of 10 things to keep them in that job. And they do it, and they continue to do it. And then eventually.
Why do you think they do that?
Because they're scared, because they don't have a willingness to explore, to not take a risk, just to move off of a place that's comfortable, that's familiar. I mean, when you're familiar with something, you'll fight for that familiarity, I think.
Yeah. No, I think that's a natural instinct.
Yeah. And so you'll forego peace and contentment because you have a job and it's paying the bills and it makes sure the house is the rent and all that kind of stuff. And you decide, I'm stuck.
Yeah.
And you could, which I know this is crazy talk, but explore other options. Look at downsizing the house. Look at, there's so many ways you can move off of that spot.
Yeah.
But you won't.
Yeah.
And you'll fight for that spot. Yeah. And then you know what sometimes happens?
What's that?
They get to a place where their entire life is a book they review. And they go, what the hell did I do? Why do I feel so miserable? Why do I have a life filled with resentments? Why am I, all the whys.
Waste of time.
And it's like, dude, it's too late. Sorry. Your moment, these are the things you had a chance, could have addressed it, could have moved off the spot, but your acceptance was in that place of unhappiness. Your acceptance was, I'm going to be here because I don't have enough value for myself. I don't have the strength and that trust in God. I don't have some of that open willingness and honesty to search and pursue. So it's like you're stuck. And that's a challenging place for people. And I hope that anything we're saying in this conversation that's about acceptance isn't accept where you're at in misery, if that's what we're accept that you can be in a place of uncomfortableness with this whole intent of moving forward through it and from it, but it's only temporary. It's only temporary. Yeah.
But you don't have to live there.
You don't fear it. You don't let it consume you. You don't let it become your story. It's like acceptance is the love of Jesus Christ. That was the ultimate story in acceptance.
Mm-hmm. He is the greatest example.
Yeah, he took the cross for us. All of our goofiness, all of our sins, all of mankind's just, we are broken.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to take all of that and say, this is what I'm doing.
He accepted the suffering.
Everything. Mm-hmm. And it's a massive example for acceptance. I think it is the ultimate, example for acceptance. And I'm always humbled by that. I'm always grateful for that. And I am always willing to sort of explore it and try to understand it better so that I don't let my pride and my ego and my, self-orient. Yeah.
And I really love, a comment you have here. He accepted the path of obedience, not out of resignation, but out of love. And,
right.
That gets back to, what we were talking about earlier, and, living a life of service to others.
It's a very fulfilling, journey. Yeah. If it's outside of you and in honor of God and how you serve another human being.
He accepted the responsibility of coming here as a man. He accepted man's weaknesses, his weaknesses when he was here.
Yeah. He had to deal with what we essentially deal with.
Yeah. And so he wasn't living the lifestyle of a god. He was living the lifestyle of a man with all the weaknesses and worse because he was feared.
Yep.
And he is.
Yeah, he is vilified. No, he was. It wasn't just a kind of a normal existence. He was hated.
Yeah. He's the ultimate story of transformation.
Yes.
Through acceptance, through surrender.
Sure. It's powerful.
Yeah.
And
that is his story.
Mm-hmm.
It's our story. Yeah.
It's our story, right? Yeah. If we're willing, if we can get ourselves out of our own way, right? If we can every once in a while just go, all right, let's just get out of our own way. Help me understand this, even though right now I don't. It's like Scripture will speak to you. This one I love.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, go for it.
Suffering produces perseverance, character, and character hope.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful verse, and it's just so true. It really does. Yeah, you can grow through suffering in all kinds of ways, and that's why it's one of the things that one of my good friends, who's actually going through a period of suffering right now, in his battle with cancer, and he's the one who told me at kind of a low point, embrace the suck, which he said was a military term. Embrace it, get through it, and take good things away from it. Take what you're learning away from it, and it produces character.
I had a period where I lost hope. So again, when you're in places like that, when hope is not evident, and then just life comes at you that way, right? It just, when that happens, you have to turn somewhere, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Again, you have to know hope to know you lost hope, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you get hope through the suffering or from the suffering and you persevere, right? As the scripture goes, that renewed hope is better than any hope you knew before.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just true.
Yeah.
And so Those are the other things where if it's a young person that's kind of going, well, okay, I kind of think, no, I think I know what hope looks like. I think I understand what hope might feel like.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, maybe. Yeah. Maybe not yet. Go through a couple things. Find yourself for hopefully just a brief time wondering, what does hope look like? I don't have the hope. I don't have that sense of it. And move yourself through intentionally using people, study with people, learn and get outside of yourself a little bit. And I'm not trying to make this super easy. I know for some it's mental issues, and for some it's just things that are unavoidable that are now on them, and they have to. It's just going to take time. When you move through it, and you can, the hope you gain, the renewed hope, promise, is greater than the hope you knew or might have understood before, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's worthy of the time. It's worthy of going to God, saying, "Hey, I'm going to be patient. I'm waiting. Let's see what can happen, but I'm going to try my best to lean in."
Yeah, the goal isn't always to escape the valley that you're in, but to walk through it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And in that faith, that's what brings the hope.
Yeah.
And
right.
And it's something beyond anything that we could do for ourselves. We can't.
Right. And there it is. There it is. And we sound goofy right now. I'm sure we sound a little geeky, but we can't produce that for ourselves.
Yeah. No.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah.
All right. Close enough? Was there a takeaway in there?
So. Yeah. I think that's it. I think that there's certain things in life we've got to accept, and
but acceptance will become kind of like part of the story. So if it's my takeaway on acceptance, there's always learning, there's always understanding, there's always growth through this acknowledgement of, okay, I don't have this. It's not exactly the way I saw it going. Maybe it's going to be a burden for the next month, 2 months, whatever it looks like.
Out of your control.
Right. So now I have accepted this is it. This is the situation. This is what my reality is. And I'm going to fill my spirit with hope, with, grace, with intentionality, with reverence. And we're going to see, as long as I'm willing and open and going, to God for what is the next kind of move, because it will happen. You will learn through your patience and then through that suffering and through that acceptance. Oh, I'm on the other side of this now. Some things have happened. I've taken some steps. I've leaned in with faith. I've listened to a person that shared with me this story, and it helped me understand a little bit more what I'm dealing. It's all of that stuff where I didn't get stuck. I didn't stop myself. I didn't isolate, didn't go into a hole and just say, I'm checking out. I'm done. Yeah. It's this powerful thing of really moving forward through acceptance. Yeah. And we can do that. But it's going to take transformation and change probably, or there's going to be some things that on the other side of the acceptance, it's going to look a little different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, well, that is about it. And go Jags! I hope that Duval sounds good. We're gonna have we're gonna have to keep it. So go Jags!
I think we need a button, the Duval button.
Yeah.
Hit the sound effect.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone listening in. This has been Not Strong. I'm Kurtis Loftus.
I'm Tim Hand.
And we will see you next week.